Morning meeting. Thank you. Appreciate you. Know that I'm going to be doing, well, you should already see I'm doing things differently. Um, Satish, I saw the email. I'll take care of it. But after that, I don't want them to do nothing. Okay, nothing at all. Until the software is done, I ain't doing nothing like that. Nothing going out, only coming in. Okay, good. All right, nothing going out, only coming in. What is happening is my priorities are shifting, and they have to shift. My priorities need to shift to what I was talking about yesterday. Let's see. I guess if you're looking for a theme to what my measurements are, as Grace asked me this morning, or a theme to anything, is what God had started, God's getting ready to finish, is where I'm at. That's where I'm at, okay? That is where I'm at. Essentially, what we want to do is we need to band together, because let me tell you what I have to do. Well, we don't need to band together, but let me just tell you what I have to do. I have to, at this point, there's so many people, and so many people are at the mercy of my decisions, that I need to make sure that my decisions are people-driven and no longer system-driven. What got us here was me being system-driven. Now I have to shift. I am humble enough to know I need to shift, but the shift still needs to happen, which is why, y'all got spreadsheets and stuff, right? So that's pretty much the only thing I want to cover, that shift. Now, Monica, congratulations, Monica. Monica got a sale yesterday. Yeah, Jerry, shit happens for sure. Yes, congratulations. They're clapping for you, Monica. Receive those claps. Yes, this early in the morning, so she's on it. You're on it, Grace. I want you. What we need to do is we need to, let's just borrow from Grant Cardone, we need to 10x all efforts. All of them, 10x all efforts. So if you run into somebody, let's just say, I don't know. Let's just use law. Law, you run into somebody. You don't have to call. Just tell Grace you ran into somebody, give their number. We'll take care of it. So we need to, the plan that I've set forth for all of you is to get $100,000 every 60 days. Now, here is what's going to happen. Yeah, I know. But here is what's going to happen. Your mind is going to say, oh, well, we can't do that. Or some of you are going to be in different places. You're going to be like Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I took it out of the Bible and put it into a one-act play. All right, you're going to be like Joseph. You're going to remember when you were favored. And you're going to look at your life right now and say, man, I wish I was back when I was favored. Let me put my hat there. Let me put my weight on this for a little bit, Grace. Some of you are going to say, man, I remember if the pandemic wouldn't have just happened. Or man, if I wouldn't have just lost that deal. Something like that. Okay? Anything like that. And that's going to be in the way of us getting to $100,000 in 60 days, 14 different times. So allow me to give you courage and hope. If you are like Joseph and you remember when you were important, you remember when you were prosperous. Remember what I said? I said, where's my energy at this morning? I said, if you're looking for a theme, Steve, I said, what God has started, God's going to finish. So allow me to tell you, if you remember when, please know what God has started with you, God is going to finish with you. And I'm here to tell you it happens now, right? Now I'm going to tell you how and give you some instructions, and we're going to do it as a group. But what God started, God's going to finish. So all that looking backwards and remembering when things were well, no worries. Your forward is about to be well-er. It is about to be better. That's the whole point. The whole point is to always get better. You did not live on planet Earth to have the experience of being poor. Oh, I know I just said something, because that is not why you incarnated on planet Earth. Now you know it. Let me just come down here and be the worst expression of myself. No one has ever said that. That is not the way it works. I just want to be the worst expression of myself. I don't want to get it right at all. No. What God has started, now it's going to finish. I believe, and I was up since 4 this morning meditating. I believe that it starts or the conclusion, no, that's not. The conduit, the vehicle of God finishing what God said you was going to get is through us. That's what I believe. It's me. So forget network marketing, forget ATS. Let's just use them as the vehicles that they are. You understand? Just vehicles. Forget all that. Forget phase 1 goal. Forget India and launching a company. Let's use the vehicles to take care of this small group listening to me. Is that fair? Can we do that? Now, here is how you do it. Obviously, everyone has to work together. Easy. I don't even need to explain that. What I need to explain is how you work together and how to continuously work together in the dark. Because the dark is coming. That's just the way it works. You do not call forth, you do not band together as a group and say, we are going to be instrumental in the quality, in the increase of the quality of lives with the group, and darkness does not come. As a matter of fact, I would just tell you, it's 17 people listening to me, you might as well multiply the darkness by 17 times. Now, you won't feel that. I will, the 17 times. You'll just feel your darkness. So let's talk about the how. So your darkness is going to show up in whatever lesson you just refuse to learn. It is about to pop back up or has already popped back up, and you still struggle with it. I don't know what that lesson is. That is not my job to know what that lesson is, but I can tell you how to get past the lesson. There's 2 very simple ways to get past the lesson. You should probably write 3 very simple ways to get past the lessons. You should probably write this down. Number 1, pause, because that's your problem. You're not acting, you're reacting. Pause. Amen. Sugar's like, yes, that was a word from the Lord. Pause, please. Okay? Pause. Whatever you're in, pause. Do not react whatsoever. I had an old deacon. His name was Deacon Laws. He was We still think he was part of the black mob. We're not sure. I'm not sure. We're not too sure. He just got too much long money. We're not sure where this money comes from. Some guy from Texas, longshoreman. Jury's still out on that. He's still alive. He's about 90. He's about 90 something now. He's the one that made sure church started on time every time. Didn't matter. One person in there, he bust out with a hymn. But this means sit down. All that talking fellowship you was doing. No. Holy ground is what he would do. And he looked at me one day. And I was struggling in my head. And he said, young man, God don't say nothing. Don't do nothing. That's how he talked. And he just walked off. One of them lessons that I was too young to get. Pause. And if your source don't say nothing, don't do nothing. Please. Pause. If you are in trouble, don't try to fix it. Go to sleep. You can't fix it. It is not even meant to be fixed. Bust out with a heel deacon, yeah. Get this rolling. It is not meant to be fixed. You're not even here to fix stuff, to be honest with you, but I'm not even going to go that deep with you. It's not meant to be fixed. Just pause. Disconnect from that situation that you are clearly not learning from. Because if you did, you'd be an ascended master and you'd be somewhere else, or you'd be doing something that I'm not even going to get into right now. But you ain't learned it. It's okay. Pause. Now that you've paused, you're going to obviously ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn in this situation? That was obvious. Everyone knew I was going to say that. Yes, Law. Everyone knew I was going to say that. Pause. Man, all right, what am I supposed to learn? And until you get an answer, don't do nothing. Nothing. Just let it be energy that passes. This is how I explained it. Law got it when I explained it. I think he's writing like a whole book about it, which is great. But he's doing something. I'll explain it to you now. The moon is a fantastic source of energy. As a matter of fact, it's been here longer than what you would know, or in this consciousness, are. It's just been here. You understand? Now, in the here of the being, the moon is so important that if it moves up a mile, kilometer, we'd all drown to death. The tides would not respect themselves, water would not respect its boundaries, and we would live in Kevin Costner's Water World, if you remember that. This is what it would be. There would be no land. Go backwards. Again, same thing, but this time it would float off into the orbit. Phil just said reflects energy, which is exactly where I'm going. So the moon is a great source that reflects energy, a great source of reflecting energy. Now think about this. You don't care, because if you're not a farmer, if you're not a sailor, you don't use the moon. There are parts in the world that doesn't even get dark, like literally. You don't use the moon. Now all that energy that is reflecting from the sun, how it's controlling the tides, you don't care. And you need to let all the energy in your life bothering you be like the moon. Just don't care. Yeah, I just said something. You don't look at the moon and go, how dare you, moon? I'm so offended. Look at what you've done to my life. No, it's just energy. For some of you, the moon is up right now, the illusion of up. For some of you, the moon just went away. Same illusion, but it's always there. There you go. It's just the moon. So your situation that you're pausing in, just let it be like the moon's energy. Is that energy important? Yes. Is it important to you? No. Don't let stuff, stop letting everything be important to you, please. Please. Please, 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 please. Pause. What am I supposed to learn from this situation? And before I get to the third one, this is important. So let me back up. That means you're going to do your role, whatever that is. So let's define your role. If you're not someone that gets on the phone, it's all right. Send some numbers to someone that gets on the phone. You will get the credit. But I'm making that clear. No one wants your money. All we want is $100,000 every 60 days. Does it matter how it comes in? I said that pause thing because I needed to say this thing right here. Some of you are going to be like, I'm doing all the work. So what? Let that be a word for you. That's what you're supposed to do. If you wasn't supposed to do it, you wouldn't be able to do it. You've been doing that your whole life. So what? So if that's the lesson you're supposed to learn, pause and ask yourself, why am I always one of the most important people on the team that always have to work harder than everybody else? And then find out the answer. Just is what it is. And then some of you are going to do the exact opposite. It happens. I can almost point out who's going to do it. You're going to say, I'm just not adding enough. I just don't feel like I'm helping the team. So what? Okay? No one cares. You do your part. You do your part. The reason why it's called group economics is because everyone in the group would do something different. But your role in the group is vital, no matter how you feel about it. You know, one of the best things Phil and Susan do, and I'm not sure if you're going to guess what I'm going to say. Actually, I'm going to say the best thing Phil and Susan do. It's the best thing. It's the number one thing. Without it, I don't even think, I don't know. Maybe we wouldn't got this far. I'm not sure, but whatever, this is the best thing they do. They own every class. Everyone. So every time you show up, you know this is real because there's an audience here. So if that's your role, let that be your role. Or maybe you can invite somebody. Who knows? But it's a group. Everyone has to do their part. The goal is to get $100,000 every 60 days for 14 times. Forget the company. You don't know it, but all that, it's a bunch of breakage. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The company is still going to run. The company is still doing what it's supposed to do. This is a separate thing that has one purpose. It is to allow you to be shielded, and then I'm pretty sure the double dipping of other stuff. That's my focus. I went system focused, now I'm people focused. And if you know anything about me, once I'm focused, I'm like a pit bull. I don't see nothing else. Nothing. I'm about to, I damn near responded to an email this morning and said, look, God dog it, I ain't even tell you to get started. Now you gonna get it when I tell you you're gonna get it. Right now I got these people to worry about. I damn near said that this morning, but I was nice. And it was not too much of a need. People, ask yourself, who needs more help? Gio or Mayuri? It's fair. Manchester United or Steve? MGM Grand or Jerry? Now, I'm not saying these people need help or desperate, but one of those entities, they're going to be good regardless. Makes sense. Grace, tell them what I told you. When Grace first started working for me, she owed somebody money. Grace, you tell them what I taught you, what I told you, and how you was going to get fired.
How I was going to get fired? You said...
And you not did that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. You said to pay that person back what I owed them, because until I did, nothing I did was going to be blessed.
Nothing. Nothing. I said, don't you come over here, Grace, touching stuff until you start. And did I say, she was like, well, I ain't got all the money. So what you did, Grace?
Set up a payment plan.
You know where I got that from? The richest man in Babylon. I told you, if I had 3 books to choose, that would be one of them. My man, I think it was David Diaz, to start paying off his debts a little at a time. Some folks was complaining. Did the person you owe, did they complain? Did they say, oh man, I gave it to you, fool?
No.
No. They wanted their money back. Did you pay it off, Grace?
Yes, sir.
Have you been blessed since?
Yes, sir.
People come before companies. Amen. I told her, don't you touch nothing over here. Had she not did it, she wouldn't be here. Because she's basically walking poison. As long as you owe somebody, you are plagued. You can't do that. You can't walk your poisonous self everywhere. You're going to come over here and mess us up. And God teaching you a lesson. I don't want none of that lesson over here. That stuff over there. Get that curse off you before you come over here. Yes. Yes, sir. You're very welcome, Long. Go out there, get numbers. Listen, you got whatever you got to do. Let me just talk to people that don't know how. Until the software is ready. And this ain't, remember, when the software is ready, we're still going to do this. There's going to be 2 focuses, right? But this is different. This is shielding you from, let's just say, them. And let's just leave them as polite as possible, okay? Shielding you from them. I don't want no bad energy. Shielding you from them. This house, I guarantee you on this call, there are house payments. We will experience some deaths in the family. Some of you just had some. It ain't your last. Let me just tell you. It's not. It's going to happen. And the older you get, the more that's coming. No, we didn't get number 3 yet on purpose. Explaining why I'm saying number 2. So number 2, pause, and ask yourself what lesson I'm supposed to be learning. No, you did. Because I'm trying to tell you, I can see some of the battles that's going to get in front of the wedges, $100,000 in 60 days. I'm not doing enough. I'm doing too much. I'm distracted. My job got me busy. I can't log on. Whatever. Find a way. If you can't do, find a way to retrieve and pass. You still get credit. I'll do it. Grace will do it. Deanna, somebody gonna work extra hard to take care of you. And those extra hard workers, it just is what it is. That's what we're here for. That's just, at this point, I just got to receive, Shaker. That's just my life. If I'm complaining at this point, it don't even make no sense. My battle is my mind, business. Stop trying to save family. I know that's right, sir. All right. My battle in my mind, my business is stop trying to save his family. That's it. Mind his business. Stop trying to save his family. Learn the lesson. Pause. And until something happens, so next time you ain't supposed to mind, next time the opportunity to mind your business pops up, you ain't even got to not mind your business. You ain't even got to mind your business. As long as you stay paused, you fulfill your goal of minding your business. And as long as you stay paused, you can't save nobody but yourself. Number 3. This is some Abraham Hicks stuff here. You don't change anything. You go with the flow. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. One of the worst things that can happen to an organization is someone trying to be better than the organization. Okay? Don't be better than the organization. Go with the flow. Get your money. Get your whatever. And then you make the organization better because you went with the flow and you're better. The organization will say, well, we need to change with them. Or you go start another organization. But you don't try to change anything. So number 3 is, I got a lot of weight on it. That was number 3, go with the flow, and there's some subtopics in there. You aren't better than anyone. That's the deal. The only time you don't go with the flow, the only time, that's right, Temple, get in your vortex. The only time you don't go with the flow, the only time you try to save folks, the only time you don't mind your business, the only time you don't learn your lessons, is because you think you better than everybody else. That does not feel good. Some of you disagreed immediately. And the mere fact that you disagree with me says, I am better than that, Antonio. Right? Like you're literally doing it while you're doing it. Okay? No. Look at Lord. Right? No. You're not better than anyone else. You're not better than anyone else. No, you would not have made a better decision. Impossible. Here's how you know if you're one of these people. I would have did it this way. You know what you should have did? Yeah, that. All that. You can't learn lessons that way because you're not letting the energy of the moon be the energy. You can't see the energy because you're too busy trying to change the energy. You can't change energy. Energy can never be created, can never be destroyed. So why are you trying to go against thermodynamics? You can't change energy or people or a situation. There's nothing you can do. Your job is simply to observe that energy. And in most cases, observing don't even get involved. Let me help somebody.
Antonio?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't show up, so I'm on the phone.
Oh, no worries.
But
that's just for the OBA.
I just wanted to add that everybody's whole. We all come in whole. It's just the things that we're going through are just mere experiences to learn. So it doesn't matter where we're at. It's just an experience. But we're all whole beings. We are all part of the one. I just wanted to kind of add that in. That's
facts. Nah, that's you and Phil actually said that at the same time. That's absolute facts. We are all one. No one's better because this was going to happen. Thank you, Tip. This is going to happen. We're not getting to $100,000 every 60 days when you thinking I would have did it that way, or I'm not doing enough, or any variation of these things. Okay, just there's an infinite possibility of how you can do this, and I cannot cover them in a lifetime. I just can't cover them. You're gonna find a way to figure out how you are better than us. Go with the flow. Yes, it could be better, but it ain't time to be better. If it was time to be better, we'd be better collectively. It just is what it is. Don't change it. Just dominate whatever you're doing. Change you. Don't change it. Change you in the flow of it. Because when this happens, we'll be every 60 days splitting $100,000, $50,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? Who cares if you know that the universe sent you somebody to tell you, hey, I'm going to send this crazy dude that's going to put you on a 6-figure path inside of his company. I mean, look, you didn't even work for that. No, you didn't build it. Don't even worry about it. You didn't build it. And some of you, you're so holy, you're going to say, oh, well, I can't accept that. Because you're so much better than everyone else. No. You are here because you're supposed to be here. And the group is important. You understand? This is not the full company. This ain't even got nothing to do with the company. We're going to leverage the company for a group of people. Does that make sense? Is that fair? No. Of course it's not fair. Of course it's not. But it's not fair that you're a human. But you deserve to be one. You could have been a rock. It's possible. You probably were. Imagine being a piece of toilet paper. That could have been you. That's a short life expectancy that has a very, very bad ending. Has a very, very bad ending. Definitely. Number 3, go with the flow. You're not better than anybody. You're just not. That's not a diss. It just says Do your part. Okay? Here, bring it here. It just says, do your part. Do your part. Hold on. She wants what she calls apple juice. This is not apple juice. This is yoo-hoo. She calls it apple juice. No, not the scissors. No.
That's what you get for not teaching English.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome. All right, I'm sitting by the yoo-hoo. You, not better than anyone else, go with the flow, and finally, stop. Let me say this like Joe Osteen would say this. And I say this respectfully. Okay, that's what he would say first. I say this respectfully. Stop looking for trouble. Okay? You should do that. Some of you get up and go, over there. That's where I'm going. No. Don't find a hole in the system. Don't find an argument. Don't look at one of your siblings and if somebody walks into a room and they make your armpit sweat and alter your mood, you gave them way too much power. Way too much power. If you look at your phone and immediately go, way too much power. I was asked to do, I'm something else, okay? I guard me at all times. I was asked to do something yesterday I don't want to do. They called Gianna. They called, well, they can't call me because they ain't got my number. The mere fact that you ain't got my number tells me that you shouldn't even be calling me. This is family too, by the way. Okay? They messaged me on Facebook. I ain't answered. So they called me on the messenger on Facebook. Shame on you, Facebook, for allowing that to happen. I ain't answered. So let me tell you, they want me to go do something around other family members. I ain't doing it. Why? Because, so the lady who adopted me told me I'm being mean. She told me, I see, baby. She told me that I'm being mean. And I never, ever, ever, ever get mad at her, disrespect her. I always just say, yes, ma'am. Boom. So she not used to me saying, now, wait a minute. I call her Aunt Lucy. So now, wait a minute. I say, sit down. Let me holler at you. She's not used to that, okay? I did this November last year. I said, we're going to have to talk about your family. Now, this is her uncles and her aunties and her cousins. And she grew up with them. They raised her. I said, let me tell you something. Ever since you brought me in this family, my experience with them has never been good. Now, I ain't tripping. I put up with it. But as of today, I'm done. I am done applying for respect from these people. I'm not doing it no more. I said right now, I'm not doing it no more. It ain't even personal. I said, now you're going to lose this battle. Talking to my Aunt Lucy like this. I said, you're going to lose this battle. I said, you stressing. You are stressing over something that I done already let go. And I don't ever plan on having them in my reality ever again. Ever. I'm not even mad. I just been focused on something else, and I'm not helping no more. And as soon as I left, the whole organization died. And it ain't my fault. And I don't even care, sugar. It ain't got nothing to do with the fact that I don't care in a bad way. How can I care about something that don't exist in my reality? Let this be a word to you. It don't exist in my reality. So it ain't my job to think about stuff. You got to get on camera now. Come on, get on camera. But you don't want to get on camera. It ain't my job to care about stuff that doesn't exist in my reality. Okay? Come get him. Look, come get on camera so they can see you. Why you running? Lord have mercy. Get her, Ada. I'm trying to put it on camera. I'm trying to put it right here so you can see. Put it on camera. I told her, listen, not doing it. Now that sounds mean. But yesterday, 6 months later, guess what? They called me to do something else. They only call me when they need to use my gifts. Did y'all hear what I just said? They need to use, in this case, they need to use both my qualifications and my gifts. They need to use my qualifications and my gifts. All right? Let me just say it. They need me to bury somebody, qualifications, and they don't need it to be boring, gifts. So guess what? I ain't doing it, sugar. And that Rona's out there, and I ain't showing up ain't doing it too. All right, you understand? Ain't doing it. And I ain't thought about it since. So just giving y'all this example, because law, I'm gonna need you to be thine same way, sir. Stop going to look for trouble. This would be me actively going, I know my experience with you has never been good. I fully understand that you are a karmic soulmate meant to teach me a lesson. I know that you are never, ever, ever going to get along with me. And I know that what I get to do in this life is to burn off my karmic debt with you, which is what I have done. I've done nothing but serve, and I refuse under any circumstances to do anything else because I've learned my lesson, my karmic debt is burnt, and now you get to repeat this, but I'm not doing it. Depends on your level of awareness if you caught what I said. I ain't doing it. I'm not. So now that I know that I have learned my lesson here, took 38 years, but I got it. Sure did. Oh, it took 38 years, but I got it. I got it. November 2019, I got it. And I'm not going to go back and go look to see if I was right. Not me. Now, maybe you want to do that, and that's all right. But I, Antonio Theodore Smith Jr., am done applying for people's appreciation. You understand? I gave time, I gave team, I gave money weekly. I ain't doing it. So I'm not going to be in the way of the $100,000 every 60 days. Y'all going to fight some battles. And it's all right. Fight. Just don't fight the battles you ain't supposed to fight. Just because you're a warrior don't mean you got to fight every day. And just because you were, just because you an empath don't mean you got to heal everybody. Help me, somebody. Empath job ain't to heal everybody. Some folks don't want to be healed. What'd you say, Carol?
No, I just said you got that right.
Yeah. Empaths, you're healers, you're nurturers. Some folk do not want you to heal them. They want you to hurt so they feel validated in their own pain. Stop dealing with these folks. I'm not saying disconnect from knowing that you're part of their oneness. I'm saying they have their path of ascension and it no longer intertwines with yours. It's that simple. So that is your structure. That's your emotional, psychological structure. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my word because that's what I do. If I don't do nothing else, I keep my word. Just be with me long enough, you'll know that I keep my word. My word is this stays to 100,000 for 14 rounds. And I'm going to be slowly adding folk into that group. And then we got to work together. You understand? It's sugar in that group. I need them church folk. You understand? Go and get them. Need them church folk. Now, for your efforts so there's something called capitalism, but then there's another form of, have you ever heard of, this might be way too much. This may be. You ever heard of this guy? You ever heard of this guy? Jacques Fresco. He's an American futurist, self-described social engineer. I pretty much, well, let me not say nothing. Just got this thing called Venus Project. I just dropped it in your awareness. Maybe. I've mastered capitalism, but I don't really subscribe to capitalism. Capitalism needs to be fixed. I can think of 6 ways to fix it. However, you can't fix capitalism, Antonio. You got to go with the flow. And when you go with the flow and dominate it, then you can have enough power and money to create your own. Y'all see that? It's no different than what I told you earlier. I can't fix it. All I have to do is learn the rules, master those rules, get better at those rules than most people, get a lot of power, a lot of influence, a lot of community, a lot of money, and then say, hey, this is what we're going to do for the next 14 rounds. I couldn't do that if I wasn't able to do that. My system works like this here. Well, probably said too much. Y'all not supposed to know this. Think of a what's the name of that book you be sending me, Phil? Urantium? Urantium? Think of a Urantium society. Think of a society where no one has to work, to where you don't charge for your masterpiece because you don't have to, because everybody's good. So you get more innovation. You get more masterpieces. You know, the Mona Lisa comes out not once in a age, but almost once a week, because you've got the innovation happening because everyone's operating their genius. So how do you do that? You have a society that takes care of, thank you, Phil, that takes care of stuff. I'll send you a video here in a second, and then I'll let you watch on your own. But nevertheless, I'm starting my little process of what I want to do, and I'm starting it with y'all. This is not new. This is more of what I've been planning for quite some time. I'm creating a resource-based society. Don't worry about all that. I just sent you a link. You may want to look at it. You may not. Don't bother me, Jerry. My job is to observe and not get involved. I'm already tipping my hand too much. I don't care what y'all do. My job is to observe and don't get involved. But I can tell you, anyone who takes on this journey, what I'm talking about, resource-based, that basically means we're going to use the vehicle that's already here as a resource. Then we're going to use our energy to put in that vehicle to push out resources. And then from those resources, we're going to take care of every single person. Now, what you do after that has got nothing to do with me, Steve. Let's say you use my resource-based system to get $600,000. Let's say it's reoccurring, $600,000 a year, and then you leave. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That was your job. You were supposed to. What kind of leader wants everybody to stay in the flock? That's not a leader. That's a slave master. Like, come on. You're supposed to go out there and go do your highest expression of yourself. I'm not supposed to keep you. You're supposed to do that. Ain't no beef. If anything, I'm slick. I'm gonna be like, hey, can I get in on the distribution? You want to, you know what I'm saying? Right? Something. Yeah. No. I encourage you. I would share my screen, but y'all, I don't wanna. Maybe if y'all ask, I'll share my screen so y'all can watch it. It's just 4 minutes. I got the short version, but it's incredible. You know what? I can feel Jerry's energy. Jerry's energy might make me share my screen so all y'all can watch it. He says, yeah. All right, let me show it to y'all. That's why I like Jerry. That's why I like Jerry. It's just 4 minutes. I'm ending anyway. I saw this a long time ago and I said, man, what a crazy man. He's crazy like me. There we go.
Genesis of a new world civilization based on human concern and environmental reclamation. It proposes a holistic social design in which automation and technology be intelligently integrated to maximize the quality of life rather than simply profits.
Undesirable behaviors are products of long exposure to detrimental environments. If we wish to surpass the limitations of our present-day society, such as war, hunger, poverty, and bigotry, we need to make changes and arrange society very differently. Most of our problems today are technical, but we still look for solutions through political means in a monetary system.
We have the resources. Money is an interference because it limits our ability and it limits our dreams.
Modern society has access to highly advanced technologies and can make available food, clothing, housing, medical care, a relevant educational system, and at the same time develop a limitless supply of renewable, clean energy such as geothermal, tidal, solar, wind, and more.
The solutions lie in the intelligent and humane application of science and technology and more appropriate resource management in order to supply goods and services to everyone equitably, enabling the entire global population a very high standard of living.
We don't have enough money to accomplish this, but we do have enough resources. If we initiate what Jacques Fresco calls a resource-based economy, this is where all goods and services are available to everyone without money, credit, barter, or servitude of any kind. For this to be attained, all resources must be declared as the common heritage of all the Earth's people.
Imagine the possibility of an unprecedented mobilization of scientific and technical alliances toward problem solving without the interference of money or politics to initiate global unification and restoration.
The Venus Project would start with a systems approach to city design using highly effective construction methods, emphasizing the conservation of resources.
The first city would be a huge research center, making automated systems for the next city. It would be a place where we would disseminate information as to what sustainability really means for the future.
The aim of the city is to constantly maximize existing and future technologies with the sole purpose of enhancing all human life and protecting the environment.
The society I'm talking about is global cooperation, where all the nations work toward improving the lot of humankind. Now, why do that? Because the smarter people are, the richer and more secure everybody is.
We have the tools at hand to design and build a future that is worthy of the human potential. It is imperative that we continue the process of social experimentation in order to transcend our present limitations and truly create the beginning of a civilized age.
All right, you should kind of see the stuff. Now, can you hear me? Can you see me? Yeah. Do you want me to? Yes. Yes. So let me, anybody who has been inspired by what I'm talking about, got automatic entry into this group, get with Deanna or Grace, please. Just text them, submit your name, say, hey, I want to make sure. But, if your energy is not at, let me do my part to help my brother and sister, do not go in that group, because you will see that I will personally see that you get out. I will. You probably won't like me, and I'll be just fine with that, okay? I am built for this. I would let you be mad at me and lose zero sleep about it, because I know I would have protected the people, because for the first time ever, Temp doesn't even know about this. She's been doing it the longest. It's the first time I ever said this out loud. I don't want to create 100,000 millionaires. If you listen, I've been dropping hints about this stuff. I say, well, and tell me, why you want to create 100,000 millionaires? And I always say the same answer: to raise the collective consciousness of this earth. I say the same answer every time. I say, when I sing, if I can get 100,000 good people to have $1 million, then I can raise the collective consciousness of the earth. And that's why I stopped. Because I'm not trying to change the business world. I'm trying to change the whole world. I did not, under any circumstances, and I want you to hear this, I would never use my genius and let a social media site be my mark on planet Earth. That doesn't even sound the way I think. Elon Musk trying to go to Mars. I'm trying to build a video on demand service. Rip. That don't even sound like me. When you think about how my brain works, that doesn't even make sense to me. Hey, when I die, I want people to know I built something on the internet. Come on, y'all. That don't sound like me at all. You know what I'm saying? That don't sound like me at all. No, I'm just doing what he did. He used PayPal to get a whole bunch of money. All right, then I'll do. And then change the world. You can't make changes going against capitalism. You must go with capitalism. I am a capitalist through and through. That's not my agenda. Resource-based economy. Maybe that's why. Does the Venus vision have to do with some sort of? Yes, sir, it does. You can ask it out loud, Lord. He put pieces together. Lord knows I want to buy a whole bunch of properties in my city. That's why I refuse to move. That's exactly why. Exactly why. This is me. You don't have to be a part of this. I've been building this, the steps toward my version of a resource-based economy. I don't know, for maybe 12 years. Probably, it couldn't be longer, but maybe 12 years. If you go back and listen to everything I've ever said, I'll drop hints. I say, if you listen to me, I've got videos. I just did a 3-hour movie, but it's not released yet. I tell them, because every time I race them, I say, listen, the problem is black people don't have resources. I say this all the time. If you look at the 6 things that I control about business, every single chance that I get, it's resources. And I tell you, I'm never giving up these controls, and that I am fighting a war, and I'm going to do this war without firing a single shot. It is. I've been saying this, Sugar. I just been saying here's a little piece of the puzzle, right? But I've been saying this. Like, this isn't new. I didn't just discover that video yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying this because that man been talking. He's been talking. And I just stumbled across him one day years ago. Years ago, I was minding my business. And then boom, I was like, man, I think I'm going to help you. There you go. Been doing that ever since. So that's what this is. Satish, once you get the software done, this doesn't go away. This is still the same. However, it'll just probably become closed caption, locked, because I got to start with a few. You need a few generals to start a war. You know what I'm saying? You need and our war is for prosperity. Nothing else. It's not against poverty. That's energy in the wrong place. It's for prosperity. Okay? For prosperity. I'm not even focused on poverty. I'm focused on making sure all of us have our way out of where we're going.
Antonio.
Phil, I was actually going to tell you, would you give us some final words? So you actually right on time.
Well, when they said a war against drugs and the war against poverty, that's not the right vibration. They asked Mother Teresa if she would join the war against poverty, and she says no, but I'll join the movement for peace. As opposed to the war on poverty, she joined the movement for peace. And that's what we all have to do in our hearts and our minds and our souls, is understand that, what are we fighting for? And do we really need to fight? We just need to be, and when you be, things have a tendency to happen. When you be loving, when you be forgiving, when you be grateful, you create this vibration that attracts loving, forgiving, and grateful people and situations and opportunities and all that kind of stuff. So, what you're talking about here is just really timely, and it's really on point to all the stuff I've read my whole life, and I'm just honored to be part of it.
Amen, brother. Those are the last words. I don't even want to come on top of that. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can dominate. We'll be posting in that group, and let's go. Let's go get it. Good job, Monica, for leading the way. Let's start. All right, everybody. Sure appreciate you. Thank you for being here.